Playmates, Godzilla vs. Kong and Godzilla Kong, the New Empire, have become the most successful toy lines in all of the Playmates Toys Company. But we're here to decide, once and for all, which toy line had the best toys. Godzilla vs. Kong or Godzilla Kong, the New Empire. But first, welcome back everybody. I am Sebastian Mammoth, and as you can see, yes, like I just said, we are going to be doing a lot of episodes on these Godzilla vs. Kong toys and Godzilla Kong the New Empire toys, and we're going to be showcasing each one of them individually in different episodes, and we might have some bonus rounds in hand. And here's how it'll work. Think of it as like a little competition between the two toy lines. Whichever toy line wins gets a special prize at the end. Kind of like little tournaments or contests or competition or games, but with Godzilla stuff, and I'm sure you get it. Now for our first episode, as you can see by the thumbnail and the title, we're going to be starting off with the King of the Monsters, Godzilla with Heat Ray versus Godzilla Evolved. My first GVK toy, and I'm not sure what number toy this one was. But I can definitely say I got this with the other Godzilla Kong toys, but not the point. But anyway, we're going to start with these two Godzillas, see what the big differences are, and we'll see which one will win. And at the very end, we'll have a big battle at the end. And luckily, I keep their accessories in bags. So, let's get to it, shall we? You know the ishkabibble by now. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe for more episodes. And yeah, so, let's do it! So, as you may notice with these two, they do not have their boxes. I threw away his box years ago, but I have Evolved Goji's box in storage. I'm just not going to take it out right now. But for both of their packages, as you can see in these photos, this one had Godzilla vs. Kong, Godzilla and Kong fighting, and this one had Godzilla Kong the New Empire and Godzilla and Kong standing and roaring on the left side. Both their sides, Godzilla Kong the New Empire and Godzilla vs. Kong. The other side would tell you what it is. And on the back, as you guys can see, they have different bios and collect them all, which, if you all recall, this figure here has battle damage, which we'll get to that later. And this one doesn't have battle damage. But both of their bios actually had different sayings. So we'll start with Heat. So let's see who had the best bio. We're starting with Heat Ray first. So if you all remember, harness the awesome power of Godzilla's thunderous roar and devastating tail swipe as the King of the Monsters battles Kong to settle an ancient rivalry. And with Godzilla Evolved, I'm gonna let someone else read this.
Godzilla has evolved into an all-new form, now faster, stronger, and more powerful than before. Godzilla thunders into battle with a supercharged heat ray and a city-destroying tail swipe.
Okay, thank you for that. Alright. So in my opinion, I think they both had very good bios, but Evolved Goji has to win, gets the first point hands down. Same with the box design. Definitely a massive improvement compared to GVK's, because I didn't keep the boxes for too long with these guys. Okay, so now, tail attachments, which as you all know, we all get NECA flashbacks since NECA decided to stop using Godzilla toys. And there's Godzilla's ball joint on the GVK figure, and the one for GXK. And with Godzilla's tail, it just, as you see, there's a ball joint, and it pops on pretty easily. Whereas GXK, it's actually a quick snap-on. But as you can see, it did pop off a little bit quickly, but no pop in, nor pop out. Just easily squeezes in with no adjustment or complaints, or no hot water. But yeah, but if you have any problems, I suggest you do use hot water or a hairdryer. So but just be careful when using it, because trust me, you don't want these toys to melt. I haven't been on that slab before, but I almost did once. Now, let's compare these figures together. So here's Godzilla from Godzilla Kong the New Empire with Godzilla with Heat Ray from GVK. As you can see right here, if you have them like standing, I think this guy's a bit longer, a bit taller. Godzilla's tails here are kind of the same length, only the Thagomizers are making a bit longer. And the fronts, they kind of look very different, because look at that, he's got like a weird man's chest. He's got a baby's chest. The arms are a bit longer too, which as you guys can see here, Godzilla has little T-Rex arms, whereas in GXK, he's got those human-like arms with a little bit of spikes on his elbows. And they both have translucent spikes. So let's start with GVK Goji. Which if you shine a light source through the Godzilla, you'll get some pretty cool translucent colors. Same with the Evolved Godzilla, which will make it look pink rather than red. Which as you guys can see here, the tail is pink. Speaking of tails, here is the spikes for Heat Ray Godzilla, and notice that the blue charge-up does not start until here, and it kind of stops right here, half point at the tail. Clearly, the rest of the tail right here features absolutely no blue charge-up. It's nice to see some of the blue right here, whereas the pink starts right here and honestly just doesn't even stop even at the end of the tail, which kind of looks like a Stegosaurus's tail now. Barbonzilla, or Pink Goji, or whatever you want to call him. Which I am starting to get a little bit tired of people making fun of Godzilla's pink dorsal fins. We're looking at you guys. No offense to anyone else like Dante Dotson or Shinra Jira. Now before we get to accessories and gimmicks, let's talk articulation for the two of them. So with Heat Ray Godzilla here, you get a articulation movement at the jaw, which on the inside it has a little hole in his mouth for his atomic blast, which we'll get into in a second. His arms can actually move all the way around, but with the legs interference, they kind of have limited motion, so I recommend just like stopping like right here and then just move it all the way back to where it was. The legs here also have limited motion, which they can move like that, make it look like you're swimming, have them look down, and you can also set them back to original position if you want to. But there is a little problem with the tail here. So the side-to-side movement's good, the up and down is good, but the 360 movement, it's not good. It's been squeaky like that since 2021. I didn't even hear it at first until I even tried doing that. And at first there looks like there's an ankle movement, but unfortunately there isn't. So don't even try to move the ankles. But the Evolved Godzilla, pretty much the same articulation as the Heat Ray version. Only this time the ankles finally move, which is a total upgrade from Playmates. And the tail has no problem when it moves, no squeaky noises when it moves 360. Or side to side, or up and down. So technically in points of articulation and paint, I would say paint point, both of them, but articulation point goes to this guy, Evolved Goji. Much better articulation compared to this guy right here, because again there's no ankle joint or head movement. Can the head move on this guy? Oh, okay, so the head can move a little bit here, but don't try and move it all the way, otherwise he'll break and die. Then I'll have to get another one. And now, it's time to decide who has the best accessories and gimmick. First, let's go with Heat Ray Goji, since he was my first GVK figure. Which, as you all can see, his accessory is an atomic blast, and he has another gimmick, which is the battle damage reveal, where you can like take a piece of him off to expose a wound. Sorry about that, folks. His battle damage piece dropped. Sorry. But anyway, as I was trying to say, here's his battle damage piece, and it's on the chest, which looks pretty nasty, but all red. But I kind of wish they had some bone coloring in here, though. And there's a little bit of splotch right here, so you can make it look like he's bleeding. And it can easily go back on for if you don't want to see the battle damage feature. And his other accessory is an atomic blast, which you can easily plug into his mouth. Which, just look at this. Although it's kind of a weak version of the atomic blast, it's actually pretty good. But downside is Playmates is using the same beam over and over and over and over again. I don't know why they won't stop using this. Like, why can't they just use the new blasts, the Heat Ray blasts, or maybe even that new atomic blast? And even in this bag, there are other Heat Ray accessories which we'll get to in future episodes. Just not today, of course. And Evolved Goji also has an atomic blast, which can also be put into his mouth. And just look at that. This looks much better compared to this Heat Ray. Only unfortunate thing with Evolved Goji is that he doesn't have battle damage reveals, which they don't even have that with any of the other GXK figures except for the other Heat Ray Godzilla, but I'm curious on why they stopped doing that. Maybe they just got bored with that idea and just stopped doing it. Well, either that or they just got expensive or cheap and didn't want to include that battle damage anymore. Overall, look, I know they have the best accessories, but I'm going to give Heat Ray Evolved Goji another point. Because this one looks much better. Because look at that. All red compared to all these other Heat Rays, including this one. Because this one kind of looks like it's just shooting at nothing. And you can also mix and match them if you want. Like, let's do that. And look at that. See? They're compatible across the line. I love that. So you can insert this Atomic Blast accessory from Heat Ray Godzilla into this one too. And you can also transfer the red accessory from Evolved Godzilla into this figure too, since they all have holes in their mouths. But let's switch them back. There we go. So yeah. Paint definitely goes to this guy. Definitely goes to both of them. Accessory goes to this one. Articulation goes to Evolve Goji. I think I said articulation. Yeah, I did. Gimmicks and battle damage once goes to Godzilla. So now let's get to the battle. As they would say, let the battles begin. Now, before we begin this fight, I just want you to know that most of the battles will be on the floor and on the shelf. But for this one, for our first round, we're going to do it on the floor. Because honestly, there's quite more space down here. But enough chit-chat. Let's get started. 3, 2, 1, fight!
Fatality.
Looks like Godzilla Evolved wins, and GXK wins a point. Well, that was an awesome let them fight battle, wasn't it? And don't worry, guys, Heat Ray Godzilla's fine. I put him back together. And he's been revived. Way to play, Godzilla Evolved. Okay, you can go now. Well, guys, that's going to do it for this battle today. For next time, we will be doing Godzilla with Radio Tower versus Godzilla with Heat Ray 2. Whose side will you be on, and who will win? Will Godzilla with Radio Tower win? Will Godzilla with Heat Ray 2 win? Tune in next time for this exciting battle and round 2. See ya.